see you.
Happy to see you. Welcome everybody to Theater 988 to see the world premiere. Oh, I thought someone would say something. This is a public health announcement. You should be careful and put sunscreen, otherwise your nose will get like that. Okay, so we're here to celebrate me. That's not me, that's the other me. Oh, she's out. She's not supposed to be out here yet. So anyways, the show, Me, came because of Sherry. She decided that she wanted to do the show about me, meaning her. So we came up with this show that we hope that you enjoy. When we first started to talk about it, of course, this question came up about funding.
Thank you.
And thanks to those of you who are here from the Maj group, we want to thank you for your contribution. But it wasn't enough. I need a piece of paper. Just around the corner. Got my type. Sorry, folks. So we had to find other ways to do this. I tried to find out about crowdfunding on the internet, but somehow or other we didn't qualify. They suggested that we go to the black web. I hadn't been on the black web before. I didn't find how to raise money for this. But I did find a lot of other interesting things. And then I got this idea that maybe one of our friends might want to fund it, not knowingly. So on the RSVP, we asked for your Social Security number. Now, I must say it was a small percentage of people that did fill them in. Now, I want you to know that there are 2 people here that have the same Social Security number. Now see if you can recognize who you are. The number is 0000000. Anybody recognize that? Well, let's see. That was Rona and also Norman. Norman and who did I say?
Rona.
Rona had the same Social Security number. So, Alan, I didn't collect from you. Can I get those from you?
Yeah.
So, although you guys didn't help fund this, we have a prize for you. Susan will be paying for this party. You might be paying for a lot of other things. So that Social Security number, which I verified with her spouse, is 687-423489. Anybody recognize that? No? Someone's pointing at you. So, Judy, we want to thank you for underwriting this show. So, she should also get a prize. So, we've got the main show, Me, is going to start in a few minutes. The Me show consists of activities, skills that Sherry has developed here, and she's also been working on some other ones that aren't quite ready for the finished show. So I'd like to introduce you to Dave and Sherry and their magic trick.
Hey. Thank you. I don't think so. Can everybody hear me, or should
You're good.
My name is David. We're going to do a little meshing or melding, if you will, of mentalism and your ability to interpret art. Never been done before. I've never done this before. I have a prediction here. I'm going to give to my lovely assistant. Thank you. It's very good. And here, now as far as my credentials, my mother was psychic, my father was telepathic. I am psychopathic. Oh, I almost had a a psychic girlfriend once, but she left me before we met. 2 weeks to get over that. I have here some art. It is not your Chablis sipping big word kind of art. It's just very, very, very simple drawing. I'm sure most of you will be able to understand all this thing. But we are going to eliminate these cards one by one in the fairest of manners. Hopefully at the end of that, it will in some way be meshed or matched to that particular, what is it called? Prediction.
You can see we rehearsed this many
Would
times.
you please, I have 7 cards, give me a number between, between 1 and 7.
5.
3. You want to change your mind? You're good? Okay, you're 3.
She's a shill.
We will start now. I hope, good luck everyone. It's just, I don't know your credentials as far as artwork goes, but 1, 2, 3. Any of you art critics, anything in here? Can you see all that? This is a ship arriving too late to save a drowning witch. I'm just giving you the first one. Just get warmed up here. 1, 2, 3. You should be able to get this. Most people think that's a spider doing a handstand, but no. Tootsie Pop with a family of worms? No. What this is a frightened mop. You guys, can you even say? I gave 2, 3. Guys, my favorite. This is for the guys here. Come on. An IKEA. Assemble it yourself sandpaper kit. Hold on. 1, 2. Are you happy? As long as my assistant is happy, that's okay. Yeah, what is it?
That's a cow who's too high
A
up.
very tall cow. Very good. Excellent. Excellent job.
They have 4.
Aha. Do your travelers.
Leaning tower of Pisa.
As seen by a leaning person. Pretty good. All right, now we're down. Look at this one. No, not yet. 1, 2, and 3. A fish committing suicide.
Oh,
It's a terrible thing, but that didn't work. Now look at this. 1, 2, 3. Our last one. I'll hope it matches. If it doesn't, we're really shot here. This is a rare view of the inside of Napoleon's coat. Everyone, please take out this selection of the predictions. You will never look at this painting in the same way again.
It's a card.
Look. It worked!
now I have to tell you that David, after the show,
Here, use the mic.
can you hear me?
No.
No?
It's not on.
How about that? After the show, David will wander around and show you all kinds of wonderful card tricks. He's really, really good. He is really good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Don't judge me by that trick.
so anyway, you'll see more of David in a little later. My next, she just gave me the look. The next part of our warm-up of the show is my dear, dear friend, Camille Tesling. She, on her name tag, it says she's the love of my life. She and Evie, her sister, I am their fairy godmother. They are my fairy godchildren. They've been with me for, I don't know, 8 years, 7 years, for a long, long time. Cammie is going to play the violin, and she's going to play, and I'm going to accompany her, which she will play much better, but we really didn't have a chance to practice, so I'm just taking it. Anyway, she's going to play the May song, accompanied by me. a minute, honey. This is Evie. Turn around and you tell them how old you are. How old are you?
What?
Say it louder. 4.
4.
Tammy is 9. And here's a flower for you. I love these kids. They're home. Are you going to sing now? This is totally, I have no idea. It's my spontaneous. Spontaneous. Okay, and hold it up. Okay, you ready? Okie doke. Go to it, kiddo. I don't know how it starts. Okay. Ready? Yeah. That's great. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mamma mia, that's okay. Okay. You want to do it later? Maybe later. Oh,
Right.
maybe later. Now Jerry and George. George, is that you?
Hi, Sherry, how are you?
Yeah. It's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
How you doing?
Good. What are those flowers?
Well, George, don't you remember yesterday I told you I was going to see my friend in the hospital and you said I should take her flowers. So when she wasn't looking, I did. This is what happens when you have one man doing everything. So that's what happened. I took her flowers.
So what did you do yesterday?
Well, I had to go to the department store. I had something to exchange. What are you looking for? Sorry, folks.
Due to technical difficulties.
So I went to the department store. I had something to exchange.
You did?
Yeah, and the lady at the exchange desk, she was out to lunch. So the line was long, but I got in line.
How long was it?
It was, well, I was number 7.
You were number 7?
Yep, I was number 7. So I stood there. I was talking to the lady in front of me, and I said, "What are you doing in this line?" And she said, "Well, she has to exchange some shoes for her children that are too tight." I looked at her and I said, "Lady, how can you let your children drink?" So anyway, she looked at me and she went to the back of the line.
So then you were number 6.
I was number 6. So now there's this man who was standing in front of me. He had so much hair on the side of his head and none on the top.
Where'd you go?
I told him, I said, "Sir," I said, "you must have had a growth spurt because your head grew right through your hair." So he went to the back of the
So then you were
line.
number 5.
I was number 5, yep. So now I'm talking to this woman who's standing in front with her husband. And I said, "Well, what are you doing in this line?" And she said, "Well, I have this small hat that I need to exchange for my husband." I said, "That's really silly. Wouldn't it be a lot nicer if you just kept your husband and got him a bigger hat?" They both went to the back of the line.
And then
So,
number 4.
I was number 3. I've lost count. But they both went. I was number 3. I think.
Oh,
I don't know. There were 2 of them went to the bank. Yeah, they both went to the bank. That's what you get when you rehearse over the telephone. So now, then the next thing happened. This little man in front of me, he jumped so high.
how high?
He jumped so high, and he went to the back of the line.
What happened then?
He backed into my umbrella.
Oh.
Number 2, yes. So now I'm standing here, and this woman in front of me is so beautiful. She's just lovely.
Really beautiful?
Really beautiful. And she was also very rude.
Really, what happened?
She was rude. Well, I said, we were talking about movies, you know, and different movies that we had seen, and she said to me, "Have you seen My Telltale Heart?" And I said, "Lady, if your dress was cut any lower, I'd see your belly button."
So then, she went back to it. You were number 1.
No, I wasn't number 1. I was number 7.
What happened?
Well, I went to the back of the line because I wanted to see why everyone else was going to the back of the line. And it's a good thing I did. Because when I got there, they were talking about some crazy lady in the front of the line. So, anyway, George, let's go put these in water.
Yes, dude.
I hope you liked the pre-show. Little magic, little humor, little music, a little singing from Evie. Yeah. Okay. So we're just about ready for me. Not me, but the show me.
Very good, George.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Reed.
Just to give you a little
Microphone.
On the keyboard.
a little idea of how I got to be the way I got to be. I don't really know exactly, but I was going to tell you that my dad was a butcher, and he was, and I didn't want to be a butcher, and then I was going to say that my mom was a tightrope walker, and I decided that I didn't want to be a tightrope walker. So anyway, I've always wanted to entertain, but I was never very good at it. But when I came to Sarasota, I thought, this is going to be my big chance. I'm going to learn how to sing, I'm going to learn how to dance, I'll play the piano, blah, 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 blah. Well, I didn't do a whole lot at the beginning. And then my friend Lynn, right here in the front, she took me to an acting class. She was not in the acting class, but she held my hand and walked me in for the first 4 or 5 lessons because I was afraid to go by myself, and that was where it started. And part of the thing was, of course, I was sure that I couldn't remember. I wasn't going to be able to memorize anything. And I surprised myself because I did. I was able to memorize, and that was really amazing. And so I'm just going to do, well, actually, one other thing before I go on. When I was in college, I had to memorize the prologue of the Canterbury Tales. Some of you may know it. One that April with the Shora Sota, the Dracht of March hath pierced to the Rota, etc., etc. Well, the Shora Sota became Sarasota, which became my nickname in college. And I never heard of Sarasota at that time, so it's just kind of ironic that that's what happened. Anyway, so one of the monologues that I did, I'm going to do for you. It's an excerpt from, I forgot the name of the show. The Orbit. Wait, hold on. I forgot. But that's okay, because I remember the monologue. And it's some women in the South, very high society women, and they're talking and having this discussion. And the one woman named Veda, her relatives, and this is what she says. I talked to Marianne at the party last night about those pictures you took of those, I know you don't like me to call them savages. I know you much prefer indigenous peoples. Well, you can call them all the names that you want. I still don't see how you can lay next to all those naked bodies, breasts swinging, private parts dangling. You know, if there's one thing in God's creation that I believe was a big mistake, it was private parts. You know, my children, if you could see my grandchildren poring over those pictures, they can't take their eyes off of them. Between that and the poor excuse for sex education in the schools, those little dears are so confused. Hate to admit it, but I bought me a book on how babies are made. It's chock full of all those anatomy terms like vagina. If there's one word in the English language that women ought to keep to themselves, it's vagina, if they care anything about mystery and romance. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you just got to change your clothes.
I got to change my
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Find my other. Turn in E flat major. We had Rhapsody in Blue. I'm not exactly sure if that's classical. Thank you. Vivaldi, The Four Seasons. 1812 Overture. That's all we had, but I'm reading those to tell you, you're not going to hear those tonight. I don't even know what you're going to hear tonight, but she'll do a good job. We also had popular music. Someone was very knowledgeable about this one song. I bet he knows so much about it, he could probably sing a little bit of it. Where did it go? Oh, You've Got What It Takes. Anybody know that song? Anybody know that song, Richard? Do you like that song better than Black Magic? Huh?
Richard who?
Which one do you like better?
I like Love Potion number 9.
Oh, okay. You gonna sing a couple verses of that? You did so well the last time, about 15 years ago.
I took my troubles down to Madame Rouge. You know that gypsy with the rose tattoo. He's got a pad down at 34th and Vine, mixing up the bottles of Love Potion number 9. I told her that I was no good with chicks. I'd been that way since 1956. She looked at my hand and she made her magic sign. She said, what you need is Love Potion number 9. She bent down, she turned around, she gave me a wink. She said, I'm gonna mix it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like India ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes. I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything in sight. So when I kissed a cop down to 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottles of Love Potion number 9.
So we're ready for the second act of Me, the Other Me. What? Oh yeah, Richard gets a prize. So next in line is something that Sherry has been working on for a number of years. And we have here one of her class partners that's been doing it for even longer than Sherry. It's her friend and dancing partner, Dottie, back there. Just wave. So, Sherry, you ready? Here it comes. Sherry. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta get the music. Oh, okay. Let me put it on.
And my name is Stephen Vincent. And I've been the dance director at the Players of Sarasota for about 30 years now. I started when I was 11 and worked my way up to dance director. But I teach tap and jazz, and I teach little children creative dance also. And it's been a pleasure to have Sherry in my class for many years, as well as Dottie in the back, her partner in co-art. And we're going to do a little dance to Artie Shaw's version of Tea for Two. Yeah, we're ready now.
Okay, it's reading. It'll come on.
Okay.
It's reading.
I don't want to miss a thing.
Okay, that's fine.
The first song that I'm going to play for you is a Beethoven sonata in G. It's just, that's what it is. tune from The Wizard of Oz, Over the Rainbow. my publicist, right, my manager, my producer, my stagehand, my best boy, my sister Laurie and Susan and Bill were here all day helping me set up, and I want to thank them and all of you wonderful people. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have some wonderful, wonderful birthday cakes. We're just going to get ourselves regrouped and have, yeah, and we can move the chairs and you can move the chairs and sit however you want. But thank you all for